get started today. We are going to be recording our meeting starting momentarily. Okay, we are now recording our meeting, and it is Tuesday, April 13th, 2021. We're going to call to order the Board of Commissioners meeting at 10:02. If you would please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance at this time. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all.
Okay, thank you all very much. And we're going to, at this time, open up our public comment period for items not appearing on today's agenda. Is there any public comment at this time for items that do not appear on our agenda? If there is, please unmute yourself and feel free to make comment. Okay, we're seeing no one at this time making public comment. We will accept public comment for items as they are under consideration for the rest of our agenda. We will now move to our meeting minutes from April 6th. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes from the April 6th Board of Commissioners meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Moving into our proclamations, we have two today. Our first proclamation is proclamation number 7 of 2021, and this is in recognition of National County Government and Center County Employee Appreciation Month. And we are, as a Board of Commissioners, offering this proclamation and in a large way thanking our employees for all the work that they do day in, day out, and especially during the pandemic, which has been extraordinarily challenging and challenged them to do their jobs in new and different ways. But as we've seen over the last year, doing it in ways that have been inspiring and have helped us to combat the pandemic and make sure that we're still providing the necessary services that we do day in, day out. We will not be able to celebrate in the typical way we do in years before, where we would do things such as ice cream socials. We would go around the county and all the commissioners would scoop ice cream for folks. We can't do that this year, but we will be, as we come out of the pandemic, finding ways that we can again gather and thank our employees as we go forward. So again, a thank you from myself for all the work that's been done over this past year, and we want to recognize their hard work as April is National County Government and again, County Employee Appreciation Month. And I'll yield to my colleagues if they'd like to make any comments as well.
Sure, thanks, Mike. Yeah, we have a fabulous staff here at Center County Government, and one of the major reasons why I know is our staff keeps getting hired away by other counties, the state of Pennsylvania, and other employers. So appreciate our county employees, what they do for us, what they do for the citizens of Center County. And you're right, Mike, I sure do miss scooping the ice cream for all the county employees. One of the rare occasions when the county commissioners get to interact with virtually the entire staff. Yeah, I'm wondering, Margaret, actually, if once the pandemic is over and everybody's got their vaccine, if maybe that's something we could potentially schedule for the summer or the fall, when ice cream is always appreciated as well. But yeah, just happy to give this proclamation. I think our staff does not get enough recognition for the literal hundreds of things they do for 163,000 people, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, because many county departments do operate on that schedule. So thanks again, everyone. Appreciate your hard work. I'll turn it over to Steve.
I just want to offer a big high five to not only all the employees that we deal with more frequently at the Willowbank building, but we also have courthouse and courts, and we have a county jail. We have so many folks within our organization that are spread out all over the county to provide services to our citizens. And I think it's important that we recognize the hard work and dedication that they've always demonstrated as we move forward through this year. And I would agree that I think we need to have some sort of further celebration this summer when maybe we can do something outside and provide another form of appreciation and recognition to all those folks that get it done every day for us. So I want to thank them all, and look forward to seeing you again in person very soon.
Well said to both of my colleagues. Thank you very much. So we would look for a motion to adopt proclamation number 7.
A very enthusiastic motion to adopt proclamation number 7 of 2021, proclaiming the month of April as National County Government and Center County Employee Appreciation Month.
I will second that and wish everybody a wonderful day.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on the proclamation? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay. And then we're going to be heading into proclamation number 8, and this is to proclaim next week as Justice Education Week in Center County. We are joined by some guests. I'm first going to turn it over to our Director of Criminal Justice Planning, Carrie Hall, to talk about this a bit, and then she'll be able to introduce our other special guest. Good morning, Carrie.
Good morning. I want to thank the commissioners for taking the time to view this proclamation. We work closely with Penn State's Restorative Justice Initiative through Center County's Reentry Coalition, and they are doing some great things. And next week is Justice Education Week. So I'm going to let Divine Lipscomb, who is the Special Projects Coordinator for RJI, or the Restorative Justice Initiative. I'm going to let Divine explain what they have going on next week.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be here with you. Yes, exciting things indeed, Carrie. So next week is our Justice Education Week. First of all, who we are. I'm Divine Lipscomb, Special Projects Coordinator. And the Restorative Justice Initiative is a group of Penn State students, faculty and staff, and community stakeholders committed to empowering and supporting system-impacted individuals, currently and formerly incarcerated individuals as well, through education and meaningful civil engagement. We believe in the power of trauma-informed practices, liberatory pedagogy, and transformative education. And so we want to leverage Penn State's resources while we do that. So again, we are partnered with the county. Currently, we have over about 100 students, not since, this is pre-pandemic, inside of the correctional facilities, 30 graduate faculty and staff, and about 15 undergrads. And so we decided, so our first big push for this work came about 2 years ago with our Reentry Summit. And so this is a follow-up to that. We're doing the Justice Education Week, where we want to introduce some themes that focus around the work that we are doing in the county and what we see in other states and prison education programs around the country. And so naturally, we want to kick this off with Angela Davis, who is known for her great work and fighting for justice throughout, well, I think it's the last 50 years. And so we want to start with her so she can lay the platform for some of the things that we're envisioning with education, prison education programs, and how we can start reintegrating our community members back into society. Our second day, we have support for incarcerated and justice impacted students. This is going to take the form of like what our universities can do as far as helping formerly and currently incarcerated students with education access. Wednesday is another theme for us, which is heavily centered around Center County, and that's reentry support services. This is the day that Commissioner Pite and Director Hall will come in and do some discussions about the work that our Reentry Coalition is doing. We also have, I believe, Community Center for Community Conferencing will be there. So this is a heavy focus on our community organizations and the work that they're doing. Our what is that? What are we up to? Thursday is Carson Reforms. We will be revisiting some of Angela Davis's work from a pedagogical lens. And so we're going to have some professors come in and give a breakdown of what that looks like within the carceral system. And we will be using other community organizations such as the Black Caucus. I believe it's another organization. I can't remember off the top of my head. So it's about 3 more community organizations that will work around carceral reform. And then Friday, we will do barriers to reentry. I particularly love this day because we will be doing our reentry simulation again. We found a way to convert it into a virtual space. This is one of our events that we unfortunately cannot offer to the public due to Zoom bombings. But I mean, just the whole setup and how we've become innovative in COVID times, right? To move something so complex into a virtual world. For those who don't know what the reentry simulation is, it's similar. It's a month of a daily events in an hour, what it looks like to walk in the shoes of someone who's formerly incarcerated. And so we also want to end the week with restorative justice. And so we're going to hold the restorative circles that day, as well as a 2-day training. So that's going to be Saturday and Sunday, and restorative circles. And that pretty much encompasses what we want to do for the week. And all of this ties into our mission of creating access, right? And getting rid of stigmas around those who are currently and formerly incarcerated. And so I appreciate being here with you all, and I thank you for your continuous support.
Thank you very much, Divine. Thank you, Carrie. We are looking forward to the proclamation, but also to the work that's being done by RJI, by our Reentry Coalition, and by many other stakeholders here in our community. So, Divine, thank you for the time today to come and share a little bit about what's happening with the Justice Education Week. And there's a website set up if folks go on to, if they just search for online Penn State Justice Education Week, they're going to find all about the ways to sign up, to be involved, and how they can learn more. So again, thank you for being here, and we look forward to adopting this proclamation momentarily. Would there be a motion to adopt the proclamation?
Sure. I will make a motion to adopt proclamation number 8 of 2021, proclaiming the week of April 19th through 23rd as Justice Education Week in Center County.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor of adopting the proclamation, do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay, great. Thank you again, Divine. Thank you, Carrie. We look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, we're going to next head into our COVID-19 planning and response section of our agenda. Our first topic is going to be on the COVID-19 Hospitality Industry Recovery Program, also known as CHIP. And we're going to hear an update on the CHIP grant program and also some announcements for the grant recipients. And so we've been having a lot of good dialogue with CETA Council of Governments regarding this. They've been our grant administrator, and we've had a number of different businesses apply. And so we're going to hear an update at this point. And I believe that Commissioner Higgins is going to be sharing some of this at this time.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mike. Yeah, the CETACOG staff is currently very busy in meetings working with applicants from the second round. So we would like to thank the governor and the Pennsylvania state legislators for creating and funding the 2021 CHIRP Hospitality Grant Program, and thanks to CETACOG and the Community Giving Foundation for administering the program. The commissioners would also like to thank Margaret Gray, Finance and Planning Departments, Controller's Office, and all county staff who worked on the CHIRP grant. And also thanks to the Happy Valley Adventure Bureau, our Chambers of Commerce, the Downtown Main Street programs, and all of the others in the county who helped publicize the program. To help promote the CHIRP program, in the month of March, I went door to door to over 130 hospitality companies. And in the last 2 weeks, I revisited 60 more a second time to explain in person that there was still money available in the second round. Myself and the other commissioners also intervened on behalf of 7 companies that had typos on their first round CHIRP applications. Over the Easter weekend, I edited the original small business grant spreadsheet and found that the Commissioner's CARES Act small business grant program had awarded $1,825,000 to just over 100 hospitality companies last fall. The CHIRP grant is $1,839,232. So it's a very similar amount to the Commissioner's CARES Act Small Business Grant Program to the hospitality firms last fall. I just found that very interesting. So yesterday, letters of approval were emailed to 67 qualifying businesses, including their grant amount and grant contract. Checks will be issued upon return of the grant contracts to the CDCOG office. The 67 businesses who submitted complete applications during the first round with their qualified net expenses in excess of $5,000 after subtracting prior government grants. I think there were 2 additional companies that didn't clear the $5,000 hurdle. As a group, those 67 businesses will receive grants of $1,455,000. Grant checks will be mailed as early as next week. The grant amounts ranged from $5,000 to $45,000 in $5,000 increments. I also found that many hospitality companies are receiving roughly the same dollar grant amount, or maybe $5,000 more, from the new CHIRP program as they did in the fall from the Commissioner's Small Business Grant Program. The remaining, it's almost exactly $250,000. It's $333,652 of CHIRP grant funds after reserving some money for expenses for CDCOG that's still available in this current round, which will close this Sunday, April 18th. Hospitality company owners tell me it takes 2 to 3 hours to complete the application. You do not need your final 2020 federal tax forms to be eligible. Counties receiving awards during the second round will receive their emailed letters of approval on May 3rd, with the checks to be mailed later in May. If we do need a third round to distribute the remainder of the CHIRP grant funds, there will be a third round starting April 19th and closing May 16th. We will soon post company names and grant amounts for the first award round of the CHIRP grants on the county website. If anyone from the press would like a copy of the company names and grant amounts in the first CHIRP round emailed to them later this morning, please contact me as soon as possible. I realize the press has tight deadlines in many cases. Are there any questions at this point?
Well, I think one of the things that we also want to, and I believe that it's going to be going out very soon, is going to be that press release from CETA Council of Governments that'll be hitting inboxes for the press very soon. But that's going to talk about the second round as well for this, which it's the same application. It's basically just another opportunity to apply. And but that was a great overview, Commissioner. Thank you for that.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other comments on update or announcements for the grant program through CHIRP? Okay. All right.
I'm good.
Okay. Thank you again, Commissioner Higgins, for the update. We appreciate that very much.
You're welcome.
And then for COVID-19 county office protocols, we'll turn it over to Administrator Gray.
Very much. As everyone knows, we are on a full remote work status through this Friday, April the 16th, and we had determined that today we would reevaluate an extension of this work status. Typically, when we make these recommendations, we look at different measures, including the number of positive cases in our area, the number of hospitalizations, and importantly, the impact on our own employee workforce. Right now, in contrast to about 2 weeks ago, the number of quarantine cases within our own workforce has stabilized and decreased. However, as recently as this morning, we're hearing from Mount Nittany that their hospitalizations are at a higher level than they've been in several months, and they are even opening and standing back up a second unit to deal with these hospitalizations. And so they are very concerned about what they're seeing in the community in terms of continued spread. So the recommendation that I'd like to put before the board this morning is to continue with our full remote work status for another 2 weeks. It would take us to April 30th. We could reevaluate and review on April the 27th. By that point in time, as vaccinations continue, as more people are vaccinated and so forth, I think we may see our numbers even declining further and could consider at the beginning of May going to a more robust rotational model than we currently are implementing. So that's the recommendation, and open it up for comments.
Thank you very much, Margaret. I think I would concur. I think that another 2 weeks would be wise at this time, and then revisit it in 2 weeks from today. But I would agree with that. But it certainly opened other comments from from Commissioner Higgins and Dershowitz.
I would agree with the staff recommendation. We're getting close. You can kind of see the end of the tunnel, but until local diagnosing rates for COVID and capacity at the hospital starts to free up, I think we can take another 2 weeks to continue to be cautious.
I would agree. I think statewide we're at about 22% vaccination rate, and I think when over the next several weeks we should see a dramatic increase in that. And when we get to almost a significant number like 40-50%, I think that's going to pretty much signal that everybody who wants the vaccine will have it, and I think that will be a good indicator about bringing back full in-house work status. So I would recommend that we also be cautious and provide 2 more weeks of remote work.
Okay, thank you for the. It sounds like we have consensus, Margaret, and so we can communicate that to folks. So thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, we are going to head into our contract section, and we're first going to begin with a award notification from the District Attorney's Office, and we have Faith Schindler with us today. Good morning, Faith. We'll turn it over to you for any comments. And Faith, it looks like you might still be on mute. Sorry.
Sorry, it's not like I'm new at this.
No worries. No worries.
So I'm a victim advocate in the District Attorney's Office. I'm one of 2. We also have a clerk, and we are funded by the RASA and VOJO grants, which is the Rights and Services Act and the Victim of Juvenile Offenders Act grants. And we've received a notification that we were awarded $311,090 to provide these services to victims in Center County. And I am here to ask that you accept and approve this award.
Okay, thank you very much, Faith. We've seen this award come in time and time again, so we're very pleased that it's come in again, and I think we're very, very amenable to approving the award notification. So we look at this time for a motion to approve this item.
Motion to approve the subgrant award notification from PCCD.
Yes.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on this item? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Thank you very much, Faith, for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our next item is going to be with ITS, and we're going to welcome in Chad Joyce to discuss this item. Good morning, Chad.
Good morning. Today I have a contract for consideration with Global Data Consulting to provide online training of Office 365 to our county employees. GDC will create training content on Microsoft Teams, OneDrive, SharePoint, and the basic Office suite that's used in Office 365. The content will be delivered in 4 training sessions in May, and then 2 sessions per month after that from June 2021 through May of 2022. There's no limit on how many of the sessions employees can attend or how often they can attend. This will give employees a chance to ask questions during these training sessions and really help maximize the capabilities that Office 365 has to offer, and hopefully improve efficiency and collaboration, especially while we're still working remotely. The total cost for the training for the year is $7,465.
Okay, thank you very much, Chad. Any discussion, comments on this before we look for a motion to add to next week's consent agenda? Okay.
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay. Yeah, some of us have been using 365 for a few weeks, if not months now. And while it is a certainly versatile program, it is good to get some more in-depth training. So thank you for finding this entity that could do this for us, Chad. And I think it'll greatly improve our usability of it. And as we're still in this rollout phase of this is a great time to do it. So thanks for finding this. We look for a motion then.
Motion to add the contract with Global Data Consulting Limited, LLC, to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item, we'll turn it over to Administrator Gray for this next item.
Thanks very much. This item is a request for your consent to proceed with sale of a parcel number. And the number is listed here from the repository of unsold properties in the amount of $1,501. The county is one of 3 entities being asked this question if we give consent to proceed. The Phillipsburg-Osceola School District and Rush Township are also asked. And this is a common point in the process when a property has reached this point in the release process. So it's here this morning for your consent to proceed.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the consent to proceed with the sale of parcel number 05-028A and 057- and 4 more zeros.
054.
Second.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay, thank you, Margaret. We're going to head into Resolution 7, and this is going to be for between us and PennDOT. We'll turn it over now to Director of Transportation, Dave Lomison. Hi, Dave. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Yeah, it's a formality we need to do to have our resolution updated to current status and give the personnel within the transportation office the ability to do their normal daily routine work. And we appreciate the consideration for this and look forward to getting it all in place and getting everybody their credentials they need to proceed with their daily activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. All right, we look for a motion to add resolution to next week's consent agenda.
Motion to add resolution 7 of 2021 to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. The motion,
Aye.
Aye.
motion is carried. Okay, Dave, thank you again.
Thank you very much.
For our consent agenda today, we have 2 items. Is there a motion to approve today's consent agenda?
Motion to approve today's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, do so by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. We're going to head into our administrator's report and turn it back over to Margaret.
Thank you again. This morning, I'd like to talk just briefly about the Community Development Block Grant Program. Later this week, a community notice letter will be released to announce the opening of the federal fiscal year 2021 Community Development Block Grant Program. In this letter sent to all municipalities in our county with populations of less than 4,000 each, the letter outlines the activities and projects that are eligible for potential funding, and also lets everyone know about a scheduled public hearing, which is on the calendar for Wednesday, May the 5th at 6 p.m. This public hearing not only talks about the process, but serves as a project development workshop for those municipalities interested in learning more about how to pull together a proposal for community development block grant money. The letter will be signed by our 3 commissioners and released by our CEDACOG partners, and our municipalities should be receiving this shortly thereafter. So just wanted to make everyone aware of that and to see if there are any questions or comments along those lines.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. Any questions, comments in regards to the notice for CDBG for the federal fiscal year?
I have none.
I'm fine.
Okay, great. Thank you, Margaret. Any other updates, or just that was the only one for today? Okay.
That's my only one today.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Margaret. Okay. We were going to head into our check run and turn it over to Commissioner Higgins.
Sure. Much smaller than average check run size today. Only $424,791.87. Checks of the week are to Granger. It's, I believe, 8 different checks, but it comes to exactly $1,337. Just wanted to highlight the work of our facilities department. They actually manage one of the largest series of buildings in the county, after, of course, Penn State University. It's hundreds of thousands of square feet. And of course, as they say at Granger, our people get it done. So would like to make the motion to approve the check run dated April 9th.
I will second that.
The check run has been moved and seconded for approval. Any further discussion on the check run? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion has carried. Okay, we'll turn it over to Commissioner Dersham for a voter registration report.
Good morning, everyone. We have, as of this morning, 105,186 registered voters in Center County. The Democratic Party has 44,142 of them. The Green Party, 139. The Libertarian, 688. No affiliation is 13,967. And the Republican Party is 42,361 registrants. That leaves all others at 3,886, and that's up 21 voters from last week. I'd like to feature the Federalist Party this morning, which has 3 registrants, and just want to recognize them and our, of the 3,868 smaller parties. I'd also like to recognize State College Precinct number 17, which is State College Northeast. They voted the Comfort Suites at 132 Village Drive in State College. And in the last election, there were total registered voters of 697. There were 533 ballots cast, which leads to a turnout percentage of 76.47. And the folks that get it done for Precinct 17, the judge of elections is Ruth Merritt. The minority inspector is Linda Hendrickson. The majority inspector is Dan Hendy. And we have 8 clerks, which is a fairly robust number of clerks to help in the election process. And they are Laura Kaminsky, Christine Cremer, Carol Hind, Celeste Diaz Ferrero, Ian Boswell, Estelle Parazak, and Robert M. Hendrickson. So we want to thank all those folks and the Comfort Suites for allowing us to use their facility, and we'll look to see you again next month. So there you have my report.
Thank you, Commissioner, very much. Okay, heading into announcements, we are excited to have Amy Scherf from Center County Recycling and Refuse Authority to talk a little bit about the household hazardous waste collection event and how they're going to be collecting RSVPs this year for that and all the good work that they do. So Amy, thank you for your patience today. We would love to hear what the event's going to look like in a few weeks and hear a little bit about what the authority is up to. So good morning and thanks for being with us.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for having me join in today and talk about our event. So this is our once a year household hazardous waste collection event, and it will be held on April 30th and May 1st. So we're a little bit, under 3 weeks away. Usually when we have our event, people can just come in. They don't have to let us know or anything like that. But obviously a couple of things have changed. And the main thing that's changed is that everyone who wants to come to our event, it's free on April 30th and May 1st. They have to pre-register, which is really easy. You just go to centercountyrecycles.org. There's a link. You just have to put in a couple pieces of information, let us know the time you're coming, and then show up at our event and dispose of all of your household hazardous items safely and properly.
Fantastic. Yeah. And it looks like there's a lot of appointments still available. We're on the site right now, but on May 1st, there's some availability, and on Friday as well. So it looks like there's still a chance for people to get on there. So we encourage people to sign up, get some, clean out the garage, clean out the basement a little bit, and take advantage of this great event. And again, it's free, quick and easy. And we thank you for putting it together during this time. And we know people are cleaning out their houses and apartments and all that more and more. So thanks, Amy, very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay, super. And we're going to then move into another announcement just to let folks know about the auction that's going on. If Dave, if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about GovPlanet and how folks can get on that auction that we're doing right now.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner. The auction is up and running. There was just a slight delay, but things are working out. The auction will run through the 21st at 6 p.m. We're offering 25 vehicles and several other items that are on the site. And if you go to www.govplanet.com, you can get on there and register. It's not a hard process, but we have, again, 25 vehicles. As I said previously, some are memorabilia vehicles and some are actually good running vehicles that will make somebody a good second car. So, and if anybody has any questions, they certainly can call our office at 814-355-6807 and ask for Brett or Dave, and we can give you some details about what's available.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dave. And again, this is going to be open through Wednesday of next week. So we still have 8 more days to check out what's available on there. And again, that money goes back into helping Dave's vehicle purchases and other operations within his office. And so we want to highlight that and get the word out. So Dave, thanks again very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And of course, these are fleet vehicles, so they've received maintenance on a regular basis.
Absolutely. They sure have, Commissioner. Yes.
Okay. All right. And we're now going to look at any executive sessions that we've held or need to hold, and we'll go to Margaret for that.
No executive sessions to report or to hold.
Okay. Thank you, Margaret. Before we look to adjourn, we'll open it up for any questions from the press at this point. Okay. We are not seeing any questions, so we will then look for a motion to adjourn at this time.
Motion to adjourn at 10:40.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.